Hi, I'm Frank Benowitz, and welcome to another edition of Dish It Out. I'm guest hosting today, but you know this gentleman, the gentleman who's in charge of all of our hotel, restaurant, and culinary programs here, and you've seen him every episode, and that's Chef Doug Fee. So welcome, Chef Fee. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Good to be back with you here in our kitchens. We have we're going to do some fun things today. We're going to, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
We're going to be smoking a few different things today.
Oh,
all food.
Yeah, food.
So what we have in store for you today, we're going to talk about one of the dishes I like to do, which is pulled pork. Real easy if I have company. But what I found is, years ago when I was looking for some decent recipes, all the recipes like you put a rub on it, you smoke it, you let it simmer out like 10 hours. I don't have 10 hours. I got 3 kids at home.
Oh, yeah.
Food.
Do you have 10 hours at home? Watch how quick he can make this. Pulled pork. Who doesn't like pulled pork?
So what we're going to do is we're going to give it plenty of flavor, though, and we can speed up the cooking process a couple different ways. Ideally, this is something you like to do outside. I do this on my grill most of the time. I'm going to take my pork loin, and I'm just going to brush it with a little oil. And pork loin, what I did earlier is I went ahead and I pulled off the silver skin and fat that was on there. We want it pretty lean. We don't want anything that isn't going to break down in the cooking process or be tough or chewy later on. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw this on the grill, and we're going to actually grill it up a little bit, and then we're going to smoke it. Now, if I was at home, I'd actually do that all in one process. I have my little wood chips, and here actually we have, this is mesquite. For the pork loin today, I have some apple wood.
Okay.
And we see our apple wood chips here, and they've been soaking for at least half an hour.
I was going to mention that. I see that they're soaking in some water there.
So just water. All right, and so what we're going to do is we're just going to put that into our smoker pan, and I'm going to add that water right in there with it.
Now you said just water as opposed to what? As opposed to Jack Daniels?
As opposed to Jack Daniels, yes.
Which would blow you up, maybe?
But although you could, if you want to, I suppose you could add a wine to that or a stock.
Oh, absolutely.
No need, though. What we want is to flavor the smokiness of the applewood.
Yes.
So
and this way, if you soak those, hopefully you won't start a fire.
All right, so let's take our pork loin and go throw it on the grill. Okay, so now we're ready to throw our pork loin on a grill and give it some grill marks. As I stated, if this was my grill at home, I have my wood chips down underneath the grates here, so we could go ahead and smoke at the same time and close the lid on it. So since we don't have that option here, we're going to go ahead and light up our wood chips next door. Now we're using foil pans because they're easy, they're disposable. When I'm all done, all I have to do is rinse them away if I want to recycle them or toss them out. However, what you have to be careful of, and especially here we have a commercial kitchen, our burners get very hot, all right, commercial kitchen. So if you have a thin foil pan, you might want to double it up so you don't burn through your foil. So we're going to let that start to heat up so that when this is ready, we can move them right over. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start to blacken some red peppers. We cut them in half. We took off the stems and the seeds, and we're going to take the skin side down and just put them right on here. And when they're burnt black, they are done. They're not there yet. So we take a peek at our pork loin here. We can see that's just want that nice caramelization, those grill marks on there. That's all we're looking for. And you can see next door we're starting to get a little steam, and then we'll get a little smoke from that pretty soon as well. Okay, so we have our nice grill marks here. We got the caramelization of the meat that we want. And we're going to go ahead and smoke this, and this is really pretty easy. We let the fire kind of burn off some of the moisture that's there, and then pretty soon it'll start smoking. So we're just going to put a lid on it, and in this case it's going to be another foil pan. If you're working in your home and you have a smoke detector that goes off for toast like mine does, you might want to just put a solid sheet of foil on there and use a little deeper pan. All right, so, but in this case we have the luxury of an exhaust fan, so we're just going to put this right on top, and we're going to let it do its thing for about 10 minutes here. And we're just going to watch and make sure our heat isn't too high. And we're also going to let our peppers burn black. Okay, so Frank, we're done burning our peppers.
They look burnt?
They do. So what we did is we had them in some plastic wrap. So what happened is the top layer, we kind of push away rather easily here. So what we're left with is that roasted flavor underneath, which matches up very nicely with the flavors that we're going for here.
And I know you do this quite a bit. You want to tell the audience why you like to roast your own peppers as opposed to buying them in the supermarket?
Well, when my in-laws, my favorite mother-in-law, comes into town, she brings me roasted red peppers. She lives out in farm country, and not that there's not some bad ones here. So I buy them when they're extremely cheap. For what some places charge for roasted red peppers, I could buy veal chops at that rate per pound.
Yeah, so in the end, you're getting a better tasting product at a much more affordable price.
Exactly.
Just like taking classes with us here at Mercer, getting top quality education at a more affordable price.
Ooh, can you say segue? Outstanding.
Segue,
Okay.
shameless plug.
All right. So we made some compound butters earlier. One of our compound butters used this roasted red pepper. And to a pound of butter, we pureed it with 8 ounces of roasted red pepper. We got a really nice product. This compound butter, though, is going to have what in it, Frank?
This is, we're entitling this our Simon and Garfunkel butter. The reason is, I'm not even going to try to sing it, but the herbs, just like the song, are...
Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
I was hoping he was going to sing it, but he didn't fall for it. So we got these herbs, and what I did was, I have, you can see right here, those are already chopped up finely, and I have approximately 1 tablespoon of each of those herbs. So fresh rosemary, fresh thyme, fresh Italian or flat leaf parsley, and what did I miss?
Sage?
Sage, of course, fresh sage, 1 tablespoon. In addition, I have 1 pound of butter here, which is soft, and you want to let that sit out for a while because you definitely want it to be soft so you can work with it. I have a glove on, make it nice and easy. And then I have a little mixture for some seasoning here with 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of white pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and to go along with what Chef V's doing today, I added 1 teaspoon of cumin to give it that smoky flavor. So all I'll do is I'll take our butter here that's already soft, and you can see how soft that is. Oh, yummy, yummy. Oh, look at that. Nice and easy to work with. So I have my glove on. For me, it's the best way to do it is using your hand. And I'll just go ahead and pour some of that herb mixture in, work it in. Same thing with our seasoning here. Just work that in. And at the end, you'll have a nice flavorful butter that has both the flavors of these fresh herbs and you know, a little bit of seasoning. And you can do this ahead of time. Put some in your fridge or your freezer, and it will last you for some time. So feel free to make a bunch at once. And how are we going to use it today?
Well, we're actually going to use it right on our chicken. So one of the things that you want to be aware of is to adjust your seasoning. We're using a salted butter, and this might be overkill if we were going to have this on bread. But because it's going to be going on our chicken, the extra seasoning is welcome. So now what kind of chicken do we have here, Frank?
This is what's referred to as an air-chilled chicken. Some of your natural stores will sell this. The difference being is, without getting too disgusting, but we do teach this in more detail for educational purposes. It's the way that they are killed. It's more humane, if you will. It's they're euthanized. So what happens is, without getting too graphic, you know, basically the old terminology is running around like a chicken with your head cut off. So without getting too disgusting with that, basically that means when the bird is put to its end, how's that for?
When it's done being a bird, yeah.
Exactly. It'll flap around, kind of like if you ever killed a spider or something like that. I know you're not doing that out there, but if you did and it moves after death, same thing. And what happens is you'll get a lot of redness in the wing tips and in the joints. By essentially putting it to sleep, you won't have all that mishap with all the waving around and what have you. So you'll create a product that is both more tender as well as won't have a lot of those red spots. So what do you think of this product?
It's very nice, and it's I said it's a nice looking bird here. And we're just cutting into pieces. If you have pieces at home, that works well. I'm just dissecting them here a little bit and taking off the excess fat that's here. Separating the thigh from the leg is actually pretty easy, and you can see that you just cut on a dotted line here. If you do it right, you should cut through like a loaf of bread. You shouldn't have to force it through, and you shouldn't hear any crunching of bones in there.
And if for some reason he's going too fast for you, don't worry, because we teach this in our Food Preparation 1 class here at Mercer every semester.
As a matter of fact, we do. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our wood chips ready. And we have a mesquite here that we're going to be using for this. And this time I'm going to take the chips out of the water.
And we do have various types of chips. I guess it would be up to the user's preference if they wanted to use, last time you used applewood with the pork, right? Now you're using the mesquite.
Yes.
Any reason why you'd like to use a different wood?
Well, just if I'm serving these together for a dinner party, which is our intention here, people can understand that there's different flavors among the smoked goods. It doesn't all taste smoky. It's like a blanket statement. You really want to be able to sense the flavor profiles and the subtle differences that are there in a smoked product.
And as we always say, it's not rocket science, it's food, but you do need to learn the fundamentals and basic techniques so that you can produce food that's, you know, enjoyable for all of your guests.
Exactly right. So now we're ready for your butter.
For some compound butter. And would you like me to just slather a little on top?
That would be ideal.
Normally we could put a little bit under the skin if we want. And if I had my glove on still, I would use the best tools, and that is just rubbing that on with my hand. You know what? It's going in the oven. Ready-to-eat foods, we always like to use gloves.
Or tongs or spoons.
Tongs. But in this case, this is going to go in the oven. It's going to cook to approximately 165 degrees. So believe me, any germs that may be on my hands that have been cleaned would no longer be an issue, correct?
Exactly. You know, we're kind of sanitation zealots here, so we want to make sure that everything is ready to go.
We even have different tongs for our raw and our cooked here.
Exactly. So
is that enough of that butter for you? Or
I think that's good to go. Any more excess
high
than that?
cholesterol diet, right?
That's it. We'll take a little extra cholesterol medicine tonight. We'll be good to go. So we're going to put this on the fire, and I'm actually going to bring the pork back, and we'll see what we have, what that looks like.
Excellent.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year, I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darks there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Find out how you can live United for Education. Give, advocate, volunteer. Go to liveunited.org.
Do you wear this?
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
It's smelling pretty good here.
It's pretty bad after I refused to sing the Simon Garfunkel butter.
No.
Wow, that looks good. Smells great too.
So we have that nice smokiness in here, and so what we're going to do is we're going to actually braise this. All right, now at home, we're going to add, I usually add a 50-50 mixture of barbecue sauce. In this case, we made a smoked chipotle barbecue sauce.
Sounds good.
And we have some veal stock here in our kitchens. So I use a 50-50 mixture of each. And we're going to whisk that together. So we have a nice smooth sauce to go in here. And what's going to happen, yeah, I want to see how coordinated you are. So we have our 50-50 mix of barbecue sauce and stock in here. If you have chicken stock, that's fine. You can use the base, the carton stuff. That works. So if I'm going to be out all day, I can put this in my stock pot or my crock pot and let it simmer all day long, because you can't overcook it. It's going to fall apart, and that's what we're looking for.
You did an episode on that. As a matter of fact, you did a few non-credit classes on that as well.
As a matter of fact, we have. Now, if I was in a hurry, I could put this exact same mixture and throw it in a pressure cooker, and I'd have this done in about a half an hour.
Half an hour?
Half an hour.
See that?
We have plenty of time. So now that this is stirred up, we're going to go ahead and gently put it in there. It was tempting. I thought about dropping it, but that jacket looks too good with all these nice patches on there.
Oh, thank you.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to cover it up, and we're braising, so at least a third of the product is covered with liquid, and we're going to let that simmer out. This is probably going to take about 2.5 hours.
Rosita, did you know there's a right way to sneeze? Let's show them, Elmo. Yeah, got it. When you feel like your nose needs to give an achoo, this is how you act, this is what you do. Lift your arm up high, bend it toward your face. Sneeze right there in the bendy place. Achoo, achoo. You can do it with ease. Achoo, achoo. That's the right way to sneeze. Thank you.
To learn more about preventing flu, visit flu.gov.
When you earn your GED diploma, the barriers in your life fall. Take the first step and get free GED information in your area at 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or yourged.org. Earn your GED diploma and begin your brighter future.
Lead paint poisoning affects over 1 million children today. Dust from lead-based paint could cause violent behavior. If your home was built before 1978, log on to leadfreekids.org.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darks there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Find out how you can live united for education. Give, advocate, volunteer. Go to liveunited.org.
Do you wear this?
Okay, Frank, you ready for some salmon?
I'm ready for some salmon, but before we get to that, I have to say, especially for our students out there, they know Chef Fee doesn't like to use a lot of foil. This is probably more foil than I've seen him use in 7 years working together.
Well, why is that?
Well,
Why am I so cheap? I'm cheap with foil. I admit it, I'm cheap. Because in this business, one of the things we show our students is not only do you have to be a good chef, but you have to be able to make money for yourself if you own the business or for whoever hires you. Because if you can't make money for somebody, what's the point?
You got to stay in business.
All right, so let's get down to business here. We have some cedar chips this time, rather than cooking on a cedar plank. All right, for our salmon, we have some cedar chips.
All right, so we used apple wood, we used some mesquite, and now we're using some cedar.
There's a lot of different varieties of different woods, and you can actually get variety packs, which I'd recommend. Find something that suits your tastes. So we have this ready to go, and we're going to turn this on now. One of the telltale signs that you might have a problem is if your aluminum turns orange, bright orange. That means at any moment you're going to burn through, so don't go there. All right, so we're going to take our fish, and actually if I could have the our oil.
Sure.
We're just going to brush this just lightly. All right, it's a pretty oily fish as it is, all right, but we want to put just a touch on there.
Some beautiful salmon too.
So this is our wild caught coho salmon.
You caught it yourself, right?
Just this morning. So we're going to put this on here. Now this is something that you could do right in your kitchen. All right. Because we have the right size pan here. Now I'm going to put some foil on top. I know, more foil.
More
Hard to
foil.
believe.
I saw it out.
This sound I'm about to make pains me in the wallet.
One quick note, that's a beautiful thing to our viewing audience. We'd like to give a shout out to Maine, by the way. You know, they're viewing us in the state of Maine, the great state of Maine, as well as throughout much of New Jersey and on the internet. Is that all of these items that we purchase for here, whether it be the wood, whether it be the aluminum foil, or whether it be the fish itself, is all purchased locally. So these are all recipes that you can do at home easily. And if you have any uncertainty or you just want to visit us, sign up for a class with us. But that's the beauty about this show as opposed to some others that, you know, wonderful recipes, but the technique is something that is very involved, and this is something everyone can do. It's great.
We try and keep to the basics, keep it simple so that you can experiment and play on your own and make any recipe your own. So what we're going to do here with the salmon now, this actually cooks fairly quickly. So in the 10 to 12 minutes that it's going to take for it to cook through, I'm going to move this, once it starts smoking, I'm going to move it to the hot oven, and we'll let it finish off in there. If you find that you've added too many wood chips and it tastes too smoky, then you can just transfer it to another pan. So with that said, let's throw this in the oven.
Absolutely.
Let's make sure we got some smoke first.
Oh, we got smoke. I see some smoke. Let's see. Everybody see that? Turn your smell-o-vision on now. Oh,
all right.
That's nice.
It is. It smells like our cedar closet at home is on fire. Okay, if you'd be so kind.
Absolutely. No, this can't be shown. I don't think you could show this.
It's good to go. So you can see the nice coloring you get from it, not just from it cooking to a golden brown, but also because of the smoke flavor that's going to be on there. You can actually see the smoke that's on there. So one of the things you have to be cautious of is checking the temperature, make sure it's done. Chicken, of course, is cooked to
165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Very good. So you can cut it down so it's all about the same size so it all cooks evenly. We threw in our for our show today. We left the bone still on the breast there, so it's a split breast, so it's not a solid piece of meat, so this is still going to be cooked through for us.
Oh, I'm practically speechless at this point. The smell, I mean, it's not a very complicated thing, but the smell of it and the color and I'm ready to dig in.
It's all good. So let's get ready and plate up.
All right.
Okay, we have our braised pork here. Let's see what we got.
Time to eat.
I think that's a keeper.
It's like a cartoon, just like smoke going in. Oh my goodness, just inhaling that. It's almost like I need a moment alone with this.
I'll have to wait.
I was sharing too much, wasn't I?
Okay.
That looks great. Oh, I don't mind doing anything, including eating that.
Okay, so we have our pork here. You can see it's done and it's gotten nice and tender. We talk about pulled pork. We literally can pull it apart now. And what we'll do is we'll shred it like this using forks.
How good does that look?
And we're going to shred this on up. And when it's all done, when your pork is done, you can tell. And at that point, you're going to want to look in your pan to see how thick your sauce is. We deglazed ours a little bit. We let it reduce down. And you can see here we got a nice consistency for our sauce, where it's back to a barbecue sauce consistency, whereas beforehand we had all that stock in there. And what that's done now is that it's concentrated the flavor of that stock and our barbecue sauce. So we're left with a wonderful product. So we're just going to finish shredding this up, and we're going to combine enough of our reduced sauce with our shredded pork, and we're going to be able to actually put this on some ciabatta bread.
Oh, excellent. You didn't see any drool come down yet, did you?
Not yet.
Because we don't want to thin the sauce out that way.
But if you need to take a step back, let me know.
Oh, I think I do. That's. Oh.
Now, we talked about compound butters before. Now, the compound butter you made earlier, what could we have done with that with our bread?
Oh, we could have easily, you can see here we have this herb butter, the Simon & Garfunkel, right? We could have piped a little bit right out on this bread and put it on the grill or put it on in a pan or even in the oven. You know, anytime you're doing these compound butters, the beauty of it is, again, you can make it in advance, and then you can use it for multi-purposes. Just to put on some bread, to put like we did with the chicken, or in this case, to grill a roll and then compound that flavor with our pulled pork.
Outstanding. So we're going to finish pulling our pork, shredding it up, and pretty soon we're going to have ourselves a nice tasty plate.
A sandwich.
So what we've done here is we've shredded our pork and we put it right back in our pan because we had the right amount of barbecue sauce in here. And so we reduced down to enough we have a nice thick concentrated sauce so that when we plate this up and put it on the sandwich, it's going to hold together for us. And the flavors are just going to be amazing. Okay, we're about there. You can see everything came together rather nicely here.
When you say we're about there, does that mean we're about to eat?
Just about.
All right.
Just about. What we want to do is finish up, though, we have our compound butters. Now
we
have our roasted red pepper compound butter, which I think a little dab of that on our nice smoked salmon is going to be a nice addition for that. Our beef barbecue, our pork barbecue is all ready to go. So now our chicken also looks quite good. I just want to put a little bit of our other compound butter right on the chicken. And what I did for that is play with the piping bag a little bit. And I piped it out onto some parchment paper and then refrigerated it so you can have something a little more fancy to go ahead and put on your dish.
If Simon and Garfunkel are nothing, they are fancy.
Okay. So we can put that on there, and what's going to happen is the chicken's going to melt that and heat it up. So before our butter slides away, if you want to garnish our salmon.
Absolutely. So this has this roasted red pepper, compound butter. Little dab will do you.
And there you have it. Smoked chicken, salmon, and pork.
Oh, I thought we were done.
We are done. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Dish It Out. We look forward to seeing you next time and on our webpage, mccc.edu/HRIM. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great night.